Welcome to part 41 of our Clone Wars rewrite. We are currently rewriting the character of Ahsoka Tano, and in this video we'll be focusing on Season 5, Episode 8, Bound for Rescue, where we have Ahsoka surrounded by enemies without hope that a friend will come for her. Thanks for joining us.
In this episode, the narrator props Ahsoka up by painting the whole situation of her kidnap as Ahsoka sacrificing herself for the younglings, when in reality the fact that she got sucked out of the airlock and captured by pirates was a completely unintended result of her picking fights needlessly and not paying attention to her surroundings. Furthermore, the narrator insists that the younglings are all alone, except that they're not. They have Huang as well as R2, but sure, discredit other characters so you can make Ahsoka seem more important. Then in his conversation with the younglings, Obi-Wan says that Hondo would be a fool to harm Ahsoka. But why? It's clear enough that Padawans are considered a dime a dozen. The Jedi couldn't even be bothered to have any decent security for the younglings in this arc, and Hondo certainly wasn't holding back in his previous fight with Ahsoka. This claim is completely nonsensical, and of course only serves to hype up Mary Sue Ahsoka. For some reason, Hondo decides to keep Ahsoka alive and just around. He treats her more like a trophy than a business commodity, despite making it clear that he does intend to treat her as a business commodity. Yet, conveniently, it seems he's in no hurry to actually pawn her off, which of course enables the younglings to rescue her later. Plot armor! Ahsoka also threatens Hondo, saying that he'll wish he'd been born a droid and implying that she wants to put him through a world of pain. But isn't this vengeful thinking, and isn't that against the Jedi Code? Isn't this once more displaying her vicious and violent nature? In the previous episode, Ahsoka was clearly annoyed when the children disobeyed her orders about staying hidden instead of fighting, but now when the children again disobey orders and risk their lives, she tells them that they did the right thing. Why? Because their actions benefited her. She doesn't care about the danger the children have and are putting themselves in, as well as the danger they put others in. She only cares about herself. Despite the fact that she should know the pirates will be after them, in the final moments of the episode, Ahsoka acts completely relaxed. She should be looking out for her charges by keeping watch. After all, it's the least she could do after they risked their lives to rescue her, but she doesn't do that. And I mean, that is we'll talk about it. When we rescue others, we rescue ourselves. So dramatic and poignant, and the difference between stupidity and genius is that genius has its limits. A lot of the sources I saw were attributing that to Albert Einstein. I don't know if it's from Albert Einstein, so we're just gonna go with this one that says the source is unknown. We don't know.
So rare are these crystals that Hondo knows he can sell them on the black market for a small fortune. In a desperate attempt to save the younglings, Tano is captured by Hondo and his pirate horde.
The whole, these crystals are so rare that Hondo knows he can sell them on the black market. It's like, that's not really relevant information anymore, because nothing comes of that in this episode or even the next episode.
True, yeah.
It's a completely unnecessary thing, unless you're trying to, explain why he attacked them, but you don't need to. You had a whole episode for that already, and if people missed it, then okay, all they need to know is that he attacked them and captured Ahsoka, and that's why we're here. And then, the whole desperate attempt to save the younglings. There's two ways to read that. Hondo and his pirate horde captured Ahsoka Tano in a desperate attempt to save the younglings. We don't need to go over this whole bit, other than, Obi-Wan tells them, don't do anything, we're gonna come save Ahsoka. But then Grievous just pops out of hyperspace for no reason whatsoever and starts attacking them. It's just so ridiculously ham-fisted. Why even have it? Why even have someone tell the kids, no, don't go anywhere, just so that you can then make something up so that you can stop that person from helping, and then the kids go anyway.
You may as
And
well
save
just
way more
have, like,
time.
one of the kids be like, oh no, we shouldn't go anywhere, and then they get overruled. That's all you had to do.
You can still have someone, like, trying to contact people, but then nobody answers. Okay, we're in this alone. What are we gonna do? Maybe we should just wait here and keep sending an SOS call until somebody finds us. Well, no, we gotta go rescue Ahsoka. Yeah, we gotta go rescue Ahsoka. Okay. Yeah, because all this time is wasted because they at first they stay put because Obi-Wan told them stay put, we're coming. But then they get bored and they're like, I don't think he's coming because, space is super small, so he should have been here by now. Obviously something happened and we gotta go get Ahsoka. Like, I don't remember if that's exactly how it happens, but yeah, no, here, I'm just skipping ahead in the transcript. Seeing as how our rescue party has forgotten us, you'll have plenty of time. And someone's like, oh, they probably just got delayed. And no, Ahsoka needs our help. And we're sitting around like children. I vote we mount a rescue mission. And yeah.
Man, oh man. It's padding the runtime.
It's like, you could use that time to be smarter with your plot. But instead, you're like, no, let's just do the easy thing. And then, oh, well, that's too fast. Okay, well, now we need to fill time. Yeah, Obi-Wan doesn't show up until after, like, the end of the next episode. And then he comes, picks them all up and pays Hondo. Or at least Hondo's asking for payment. I forget if he actually pays Hondo, but either which way. Like, and you could literally just have them contact Obi-Wan at the end. Just like, oh, well, now that Hondo's helping us, he has stronger equipment or something, I don't know. Or maybe, because they hyperspace jumped away, and so then maybe they were just out of range, but then going back to Florum's got, you can come up with something that's reasonable. It doesn't have to be airtight, but yeah, either which way. The first 5 minutes of the episode, nothing. What could be covered in a minute, they give it 5 minutes.
Are you thirsty? A drink, perhaps? Up.
Oh, poor Ahsoka. She's thirsty.
Oh, I know. I think we talked about this in our reaction where, like, this scene literally adds nothing.
For the opening, scene of a new episode, it kind of makes sense because, this is where Ahsoka's at. We got the recap, sure, but, this is setting the stage for Ahsoka's situation right now. What's stupid is that, like we said in the argument against Ahsoka, he's got her a trophy. When he had Obi-Wan and Anakin and Dooku, high-ranking generals, leaders of the two separate factions, he had them hidden away in a jail cell with, minimal security. And now he's got a dinky little Padawan, and he's like, oh, yeah, look at this. I want you out where everybody can see. We can all watch to make sure you can't get... We're gonna put you in this special, upward lit... thing that, it's just and I guess you could argue, oh, well, he learned his lesson after Obi-Wan and Anakin and Dooku got away, but still, I'm sorry, if I recall correctly, at one point they did have Obi-Wan and Anakin suspended in one of those things, but then they took them down and put them in a cell so that they could get away.
A cell with one incompetent guard. Yeah, that was so dumb.
Again, it's just so much stupid for the sake of plot. And in this case, it's stupid for the sake of drama. It would make more sense to have her in the same kind of, binders that Anakin and the others were in. If you want, maybe even have her in that suspended thing, but, in a jail cell, and have more guards to show, he did learn his lesson. But Ahsoka's not special to him, just like Anakin and Obi-Wan and Dooku. He's gonna sell her to the highest bidder, but he doesn't need to display her like a trophy in his party hall and have conversations with her. So I mean, you could have basically the same thing, that she's maybe she calls out to the guard. She's like, hey, I'm thirsty. Can I have a drink of water or something? And they can either refuse her or taunt her, whatever. You know, maybe she's trying to use it as a way to like get them to you know, come closer, and then, but like ultimately her attempt fails, or they don't fall for it, or whatever, right?
Yeah.
You still show, yeah, she's being deprived, and she's not going to be able to get out of this one by herself, really. And
would we want to follow that up with a scene of Hondo contacting potential buyers?
Yeah, Hondo is contacting buyers. In our notes, we suggested that one of the buyers he contacts is Grievous. He doesn't say what Jedi he has, just that he has a Jedi. And we were going to have Obi-Wan. And then that's how Obi-Wan and Grievous end up fighting, is because the kids contacted Obi-Wan, so Obi-Wan came to Florum, and then Grievous comes, and then they're fighting it, you know, in space around Florum, while all this is going down on Florum. That's another idea, but like I think it's better to just remove Obi-Wan from the equation. Unless we wanted to have it that he contacts the Republic too, is like, hey, you want your Padawan back?
I don't know if, because like we said, the Padawans are basically a dime a dozen.
Ooh.
And they're fighting a war, so they can't go out of their way to send resources to collect a Padawan.
Yeah, but that would probably be worth including given what we're building up to, right? Like,
yeah, good point.
Having this moment where like these people who have always had her back are restrained by practicality, right? Because I wouldn't frame them as like being uncaring. I would frame it as, you know, bureaucracy getting in the way. And like, I would have it that like the temple gets contacted, and like, so they go, yeah, maybe Yoda goes to see Palpatine, and Palpatine is like, you know, we can't be ransoming Padawans, like, and you know, we can't be calling back Jedi generals to go on a fetch quest for a Padawan. Like, use your own resources or bugger off, right? Like, and I would have it that they don't tell Obi-Wan and Anakin because they're off-world doing something super important.
Yeah.
And it's like, we know if we contact Anakin, even potentially Obi-Wan, that they would drop what they're doing and go rush over. I would have it that they're like, throughout like this episode and the next, you get like a little scene here, a little scene there to show that they're trying. Because I mean, in the end, they do show up, but by that point, it would have been too late, right? And so then it's a good thing that the kids did what they did. But yeah, so I would have it that they're trying, like, to, you know, this avenue, that avenue. And maybe in the end, Yoda does contact Obi-Wan because he's like, well, he's a little, you know, more level-headed than Anakin. So, because yeah, I would still have it that Obi-Wan shows up in the end to come pick them up. And that could potentially be the way to do it. Back to show Grievous versus Obi-Wan, because, you know, let's take up another few minutes of showing why they're not coming.
Gotta have action for the kids.
Wait, is this the one where Obi-Wan, like, leaves a message that warns Grievous
that his ship is about to blow up? Yep, this is the one.
This is the one.
So stupid.
Yeah. Do we want to go? Oh, right. Yeah, we kind of do need to go through the kids' scenes because Khalifa and Jinx. So it would make sense, I think, that Khalifa would be the one who is, hey, we gotta go rescue Ahsoka. And Jinx would be the one who's like torn over that because it's like, well, no, we can't bring these kids there and endanger them and ourselves by trying to go up against what's way out of our league. And so we should stay here and keep trying to call for help and stuff like that. But then she brings up the Trandoshan hunting grounds and, you know, what happened there and how they had to stick together and rescue each other. They couldn't wait for help. And, like, I would have her mostly talk about their time before Ahsoka showed up. But then also, yeah, mention, you know, when Ahsoka came, then she did the same. She helped us. She had our backs, and, you know, together we escaped. I'm glad that we got rid of Huang, because, yeah, he does nothing, if I recall. Like, yeah, no, I think he stays behind on the ship with R2.
My scanner is indicating a strong power source. That way. It must be their base.
We better get moving. We'll figure out a strategy on the way.
That kind of makes sense to me. I mean, obviously I would make tweaks, but yeah, that tells you, okay, this is how they find the base, and they are gonna figure out something on the way. I would have it that they landed closer, though, because walking all that way would take them way too long.
I think it would make more sense if Khalifa and Jinx told the kids, like, hey, stay on the ship, and at the first sign of danger, you...
take off.
Yep, you take off.
So we would just have Khalifa and Jinx doing this. We would leave the kids behind.
Either, yeah, the kids get left behind, or the kids sneak after them anyway.
The upside to leaving the kids behind is that we don't have to juggle them all.
Yeah.
I think, you know what? Given that these kids never show up again, because, yeah, we're using Khalifa and Jinx, so we're dealing with previous characters. I feel like they should be getting the spotlight here, and we have kind of been tweaking that the other kids are kind of more, they're side characters. Yeah. Whereas, you know, we've got Ahsoka, Khalifa, and Jinx kind of as the main focus characters in these episodes. So I think it would make sense to stick with that. And it would make sense for Khalifa and Jinx to both be like, no, you stay behind. Don't even try it. Like,
yeah. So it might even make sense for them to, like, park the ship a little further away so the kids aren't in such close proximity to the base.
Yeah, no, that would work. In that case, I would maybe have them have, like, a little 2-person speeder or something that they can use. Because it's just not sensible for them to be like, yeah, we're just gonna walk, you know, it's a 2-day journey. Maybe it ends up breaking down, and that's, you know, why they end up needing a lift from the circus people. Yeah, maybe it's like a 1-person thing, but then they've got 2 people on it, and it's, you know, being driven through the desert, and so then, yeah, it ends up overheating and breaking down. And
don't ask me why, but Dooku holds such a grudge against me since our little I held him hostage affair. The truth is, I have my sights set on more nefarious criminals than I. A businessman who will pay handsomely for a Jedi. A female Jedi at that.
So, again, yeah, it's leaning into this kind of, like, implied thing that is like, no, let's not go there.
Yep, really gross.
Yeah.
I'm thinking instead, maybe we can have another scene of Ahsoka in her cell, and she's maybe trying a little bit to use, like, intimidation tactics, like, hey, the Republic, the Jedi, they're gonna come for me, and it's made clear that, like, no one's coming for you. They don't care. They're not gonna pay for you.
I would more have it that the person she's talking to, and I might, you know, like, seeing as this is the second scene of this, I would be okay if you have Hondo kind of pop in to, you know, gloat, taunt, whatever, like, and yeah, basically say, you know, I've contacted both of them. But
maybe he just mentions that the Republic, the Jedi, have been really taking their time and getting back to him.
Either that, or I was going to say, when he says, I've contacted them both, then she, brings up how Hondo has poor relations with the Separatists because of, having kidnapped Dooku. And so she's like, well, that seems dumb, right? Like, and he's like, in this case, I'm not going highest bidder necessarily, like, I'm going whoever gets here first with my money, right? That way they don't have reason to lash out at me, kind of thing. I don't know. Either which way, there's options. I would probably have Hondo pop in and have a bit of back and forth of, she tries to intimidate him and he kind of plants a seed of doubt in her. Because, maybe he does say something along the lines of, like, the Republic still hasn't gotten back to me, but Grievous is on his way. And then, she tries to intimidate him with, well, the Separatists and you captured Dooku, like, you're sure that's a good idea? And he's just like, I'll figure it out. I think you've got bigger problems, to worry about. Or maybe he says something, it's so touching that, you're concerned for me, but you ought to be thinking of yourself.
Faster, you lazy creatures, faster! Oh, Hondo will be furious if we're late. Hey.
That's weird. That he's like, hurry up, you stupid creatures. It's like, but there's no creatures pulling the ship. It's just operating like a normal ship. If that's as fast as the ship drives, like, it's not the creature's fault. I don't know. I think it's a dumb line. But I would have it, this scene starting with, like, their things broken down. They're like, great, now what? And we see these guys, and I would have it that Jinx and Khalifa have to kind of, like, run over in front of them and wave them down. They're not just standing there confidently waiting.
What are you doing? I said faster, not stop.
Are we to understand you are on your way to the pirates' stronghold? Sir, our ship crashed and we've been stranded. But our misfortune is to your benefit. We are acrobats.
You would like to come with us when we go to entertain Hondo and his pirate horde?
Very much so. Yes.
Oh, no. I'm sorry. The pirates are an unforgiving audience. I couldn't possibly... How did you... Oh, my. How many of these tricks can you do?
How many do you want?
And it goes to show, like, Katuni and Petro, they do most of the talking. Like, and
the other characters are basically props.
Biff and Gunji especially, because they don't speak English.
Yeah.
So their characters have next to no lines in any of the episodes, if I recall correctly. I think they have the most in the first episode, but then I think these two episodes, they're just here because they were there. And then even the techie guy, I think he has more lines, but I think Katuni and Petro are like
the ones that get the most attention.
Yeah, but I would just have Jinx and Khalifa, and I would kind of do we want Khalifa to come up with a plan? Or Jinx?
I would make it more believable that they overheard that the Carnival Act was on their way to Hondo's, because that line was said before they even saw the kids. So I'd have it like when they see the kids waving them down and they stop, that's when the guy's like, oh, I said faster, not stop, like Hondo's gonna kill us if we're late.
Yeah.
And then, Khalifa and Jinx hear that, and I would have Jinx be the one who comes up with the plan. He's like, well,
we're acrobats.
This is to your benefit, actually, because we're acrobats.
And I would still have them, like, do some tricks, but I think it's kind of ridiculous that the kids, like, I mean, like, they have the Jedi abilities, But, like, there's more to those kinds of things, especially when you've got, like, 5 children. And how many acrobatic acts have they seen? I'm sorry, like, what?
Like, obviously a Jedi can be acrobatic.
Yeah.
But the extent to which they're doing it, it's not really believable.
Mm-hmm. And it comes down to the coordination of 5 different people doing this impromptu. When you're dealing with children, no.
Yeah, definitely not.
They're not going to be able to pull that kind of coordination off. Especially if it's something, like, completely foreign to them. And I don't think that, you know, acrobatic tricks are part of Jedi training. Not like carnival acrobatic tricks like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they have a cheerleading squad you can try out for it. You know, like, so yeah, I would have them do like tricks where, like, you know, Khalifa does a handstand on top of Jinx's hands as he's standing, right? So, like, stuff like that, simple stuff that, like, 2 people can quickly whisper, like, okay, we're gonna do this now. It's like, you know, and yeah, again, like, they have the ability, the acrobatic ability, because of, you know, the using the Force to kind of help them, right? Like, maybe you even show Khalifa kind of, like, losing her balance while she's trying to, like, stand on top of Jinx's head, and she has to kind of force push off of the ground, kind of, like, steady herself.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind them, like, using the Force in subtle ways to really enhance their acrobatic feats. And make it look really impressive.
Yeah, maybe he kind of, like, launches her off her legs, and she, like, does a triple, quadruple flip, and then, you know, lands. Like, ta-da!
Ta-da!
And again, I would just keep it super short, like they have it here. You don't want to go into this long, drawn-out, like, we'll do this trick, and we'll do this trick, and we can do...
Yeah.
Like, do a good job of being like, well, how many do you want? Like, you know, we can keep going. Oh, I was also going to say, like, having just the 2 of them, I feel like the ringmaster would consider it a smaller risk to absorb them into his troop.
True, yeah.
Instead of, like, and they're teenagers instead of little
children.
Like, instead of 5 little children, you got 2 teenagers.
Mm-hmm.
And so it becomes more believable that he's like, oh, okay, fine, right? Like, I can put you guys on the sidelines or the, you know, the background where you can audition to become, you know, a part of my troop permanently, but I'm not gonna have to worry about you screwing up my show tonight and potentially getting me killed. To waste more time here. This entire B plot probably takes up half the episode, or close to half of it. And it's doing absolutely nothing except stall Obi-Wan. Because we're gonna have that B plot too, of the Jedi trying to figure something out. But because we want that spread out over this and the next episode, I would probably only have it take, like, a quarter, maybe at most a third of the episode time. You're afraid the younglings are on their own.
Afraid the younglings are now on their own.
Right, because, yeah, he blew up his ship, so he's just in escape pods. So if anything, somebody's got to come rescue him first, so that they can then go rescue the younglings. I don't think they ever show that.
You better know what you're doing, because I don't see Ahsoka.
Actually, that's a good point, because in this version, they have him, like, bring Ahsoka out to watch the show, and again, it's so dumb. And, like, I think she even has, like, less, like, they don't have her in the special, like, suspension thing anymore. So it's just, like, stupid on top of stupid.
Yeah, yeah.
I would have it that, yeah, because the ringleader would just have them on the sidelines in the background, whatever, they sneak off and they go infiltrate and find Ahsoka in the cell and break her out.
I would hate for her to miss the show.
Oh, that's so convenient. I don't see Ahsoka. Oh, look, here's Ahsoka. And then, yeah, the ringleader gives them, like, center stage to do an act that they've never practiced and he's never seen, and he's trying to entertain someone who is volatile. Like, it's just stupid on top of stupid on top of stupid. And
You guys shouldn't be here. Don't.
I'm sorry, dude is right there and doesn't see this, like, very ostentatiously dressed child going and talking to the prisoner.
I'm flying! No. That was a good act. Oh. It says bleeding Jedi, kids! What? The children are Jedi? Oh.
Yeah, no, it's super easy, barely an inconvenience. That pretty much sums up the rescue here.
I think, yeah, Khalifa and Jinx show up, break Ahsoka out of her cell, but right as they think they're in the clear, like, they get out of the stronghold, and they're making a break for it, then they get spotted, or maybe the guards they knocked out that were guarding Ahsoka's cell, maybe those guards wake up, and they go running to Hondo, and they're like, our Jedi got broken out.
I wouldn't have them, the guards go running to Hondo. I would just have them, like, contact him via comms or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty sure they have those. And yeah, maybe Hondo at the time is, like, the regular troop itself had a thing where they included him. Obviously, it wouldn't have ended like the way it does here, but yeah, because he's busy, then like he doesn't get told right away, or like he doesn't get the communication right away. I would probably have it that like they make it out to here, and maybe their plan was to sneak back into the circus troops ship, but then because they get discovered, the alarm is raised, and then they get spotted, then they end up, yeah, just hijacking one of the pirates' speeders. Well, actually, wait, no. How did they get Ahsoka's lightsabers? She would have had them on her when she was kidnapped. Do they ever show that? Does she steal? Oh, yeah, she steals them here. I would have it that they were on the guard in front of Ahsoka's cell or something like that. So, again, they just take them off the guard and get them back to Ahsoka.
Blasted kids have screwed everything up. Hondo's going to kill us.
Yeah, see, I hate this because, yeah, the kids were putting fault on the circus troupe by being an active part of their show and using their part in the show to, like, yeah, launch Hondo and, you know, potentially anger him. And then, yeah, it shows then they get discovered, and it's like, oh, that circus troupe just helped, like, they betrayed us, they helped smuggle these Jedi kids in here and stole Ahsoka, right? Like, so I would have it that when Jinx and Khalifa sneak away from the circus, then, like, yeah, they don't want to be wearing those ostentatious outfits because then they can't really sneak through the base very well. Now,
yeah, can't blend.
So I would have them, like, remove them and maybe, yeah, grab some, like, pirate vests or whatever. Like, they're not completely undressing, but, like, they're swapping one, you know, like, over top disguise for another over top disguise.
Yeah. And then the circus probably would not be implicated.
And so I would still have, you know, maybe a scene of the troop hightailing it out of there, but I wouldn't have it be like, oh, because Hondo's going to kill us because of these kids. I would have it more so be like, we're in the crossfire here.
Quick, get to that speeder! Get us out of here!
What is going on? Where's my Jedi?
Yeah, that's a question. Like, do we want to have Hondo be in this, like, drunk, stupid state? Or do we want... I think we'd want him to be more of... I mean, like, Hondo's never, like, super intimidating. But I prefer him being like, he's crafty, he's smart, so having this like
Here,
stupid drunk version of him.
Yeah, he's just being overblown comedic relief here.
Yeah, and dumbed down so that he can be beaten by children.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd have Khalifa and Jinx and Ahsoka all working together. I wouldn't have to have it that Ahsoka has to be like, "Hey, get us out of here," or like. So that they each have lines. They each have like, okay, let's go here. Let's watch your six, whatever, right? Like
maybe because Khalifa like blew up her lightsaber, right? Yeah. So her lightsaber, she doesn't have a lightsaber. So I think while Jinx and Ahsoka are fending off fire, she could go make a break for the speeder and then drive it over to them, be like, hey, jump in.
Yeah, we could do that. I would maybe have it that one of the other kids like lent her their lightsaber or something, like, because going into that unarmed seems really dumb.
True,
and even though they have this whole thing of like, this is your lightsaber, they do also just pick up lightsabers and use them. So
maybe Katuni is the one to give her lightsaber to Khalifa.
The question becomes like, I think it's kind of, I wouldn't have it. I'm thinking of the next episode when they kind of win Hondo over by showing him like how a Jedi puts their lightsaber together. And I think
it was weird.
It seems so out of character that like something like that would be so meaningful to him. But yeah, no, Katuni could give her lightsaber to Khalifa, but I would still, maybe have Khalifa be like, "Hey, cover me, I'm gonna go grab a speeder," and then so they do, and then she comes and picks them up, and then Jinx is like, "Okay, let's get out of here." Like, not in like a commanding way, but in a like, everything's crazy and like, we gotta go.
I could pretend to be angry, but you were all very brave. Thank you.
You disobeyed orders.
Well, I've learned from my master that sometimes doing the right thing means bending the rules.
Obviously, we'd want to cut that stupid like, oh, well, doing the right thing means bending the rules when it comes to me. The way, because like, this episode ends, they're not being chased by pirates, and then suddenly at the beginning of the next episode, they're being chased by pirates. So I would have it that they are being chased by the pirates on speeders, who were coming after them. So I don't really want to end it in the middle of action. So I think I would cut to a scene of Grievous's ship arriving over the planet.
That would be a good ending note. I like that. I'm just wondering, like, whether, like, I'm wondering, like, how much do we want to put in the scene where they, like, show up at her cell, right? Because there'd be a little bit of time for them to talk there as they get her free and then start making their way back through the base.
I think definitely when Khalifa and Jinx arrive at Ahsoka's cell after taking out the guards, I would have Ahsoka be like, "Well, you shouldn't have come. You shouldn't have risked yourselves for me."
I would have Khalifa bring up that
back on Trandosha, you didn't give up on us. We're not giving up on you.
Yeah, something brief like that.
Because I was thinking about like how we could tie that into her relationship with Anakin, because she basically did give up on him. She was like, "This isn't working out. Like, you're not a good master. I'm done."
Maybe Khalifa kind of is the one who's like bending the rules to save someone is okay sometimes, like, or maybe Jinx says that. I don't know, either one of them, because like I don't want to leave Jinx out, but yeah, because like that mentality is kind of Anakin's mentality, right? So that's how we can kind of maybe like bring Anakin to mind for Ahsoka.
Yeah, I think it would probably be best suited to a Khalifa, to have her say something about bending rules and such. So yeah, so maybe Khalifa says like sometimes you gotta bend a few rules to help someone who needs it. And maybe Ahsoka just, you see her thinking about it for a second and then she smiles.
Yeah. What if earlier when Hondo was taunting her, maybe she kind of is like, my master will come for me. And then she stops herself because she's like, oh crap, I burned that bridge. And then, yeah, when Khalifa shows up and she is speaking like Anakin would, it kind of hits Ahsoka like, Anakin isn't a good Jedi Master perhaps, but like, he is my friend. And yeah, maybe also having, like, maybe Jinx can say the line about, like, we weren't going to give up on you, right? And then, yeah, so you kind of have that combination of, you know, tying this to Anakin, and she gave up on him. And so, yeah, I think that works.
Yeah, I like that.
And that's everything. So that was Season 5, Episode 8, Bound for Rescue. We had Ahsoka surrounded by enemies without hope that a friend would come for her. If you enjoyed, be sure to drop a like, share with your friends, and consider subscribing so you don't miss future installments. As always, comment below letting us know what you think of our rewrites and what you would do differently. We'd appreciate any support you are willing and able to offer via Super Thanks or on Patreon, where we have plenty of exclusive content waiting for you. Next up, we'll be tackling Season 5, Episode 9, A Necessary Bond, so be sure to join us for that.